Hey guys, how's it going? So another night working on the Routemaster. I actually am sitting back because I've got the panel lights on tonight. There. That one's. I'll be changing the camera anyway, but I got the panel lights on, so it's really bright. And if I sit forward, it really washes me out. I yelled at you.
I
It's
did
good
yell
for
at him.
you.
I did.
You need.
I told him to shut up and watch your stream.
He needs to. As you can guys can tell, I have my producer again tonight, Todd. If he ever starts doing videos, like this, I will start. I'll produce for him as well. And Todd told me something funny about this hat. Those of you who are on Discord know that Todd was in Disneyland over the weekend and had a nightmare journey back home yesterday. But he told me that he saw me in Disneyland 3 times. He saw 3 people wearing this hat, and he said they all looked like me. All older, beard, gray hair.
It was just
So,
buck after buck after buck.
huh? Oh, yeah, exactly. So, not sure how much going to get done tonight because there's lots of wiring coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras real quick. So I didn't aim this one yet.
Gilly said there's 3 more of you out there. Not good.
There's more than that.
Ian. Disney knows its target demographic. It's true. They do.
Yeah. It's their target demographic, me and my wife. Matter of fact, when my wife used to collect, what was it? Snow globes. Yeah, Disney almost went out of business when she stopped. At one point, she had around 100 snow globes.
You didn't get like a private message from, the CEO saying, please come back.
No.
I did go to Savvy's workshop and build a lightsaber, though. I'll show that off on the stream on Friday.
As a matter, well, you talked about the lightsaber. You also said that you had built the R2D2.
I did.
So of course,
I don't know if that'll be.
my.
I couldn't bring them home because they're too big to carry on the plane. So Francisco was still out there, and so he met up with me and he threw them in his car. So when he comes back, he'll bring the droids back because we built the girlfriend built a clear BB-8, and I built a R2D2 with laser cannons. So yeah.
That sounds
Dave.
weird that they're two.
Dave's in the house. Hey, Buck and Todd. Howdy, guys. Hello to everyone.
Hey, Dave.
See how quickly he warns you not to go ahead and insulate your rear lights so they don't short out on the frame before you do that. Ian says put the goofy hat displays near the men's rooms. They won't be able to resist. It's probably very true.
Actually, I'm looking. I don't see his comment about the rear lights shorting out.
Oh, I'm sure he'll tell you. It's coming.
I saw it on Discord. Okay, there's my instructions. So we've got the wall that I worked on last time, 2 panels, the window, and wiring harness. Should I need it? There. I do have electrical tape, and depending on how they are actually done, I might just use heat. First thing it says, and I've got this paint side up, which is why it's not on the towel. I had everything planned out. Also got, well, the shop is a little bit messier than it has been because I'm working on the Christmas build, working on the Hey, Chris, welcome. Actually, I should say hey to everybody because Gilly's here, Eric's here, Ian's here. Todd's not in the chat. Todd's the moderator.
I am here. Hi, Christine.
Yeah, you are here.
I did watch your video earlier. She was building the Disney doll house.
Very cool. I asked my wife if she would want that if it was available here, and she's like, "Nah, not really." I'm like, "Really?"
Eric says your so-called audio issues are fixed, he sees.
I had audio issues, Eric. I had to break out the troubleshooter to get it to work. This is going to go wrap around here.
I noticed our chat bubbles are different. I think Donnie changed it. 1 second.
Okay.
There we go.
Yep. You see that? These two switches.
No, I'm not his troubleshooter. He did his own troubleshooting.
Yep.
Eric says I should just mute you. That's not very nice.
Too bad Eric is a moderator on this channel. Otherwise, we could put him in timeout. So you see, there are channels on here, alongside here, one here, to hold or for the wire to stay in place. Nothing across here. I thought that was kind of odd. As tape pieces, let me pull this down.
Ian says that wouldn't be the first time he got muted. Well, Ian did most of the talking on the last stream, so we have to mute him next.
Ian was very, very talkative on Friday.
Once he gets going, man, can't stop him.
Yeah. It was rather different, because my mic had quit working, and it was odd. My mic quit working, then my sound quit working on StreamYard. So I was actually watching while I was on camera. I was watching on YouTube. Something out there in the kitchen keeps making noise. Not sure what it is.
Well, I posted those updates for Eagle Moss in the different Facebook channels and so Facebook groups. And now everybody's responding to it, so my phone's going insane.
Oh, is it you? Okay. I thought it was in my house. So first piece gets held in by the tape here. I can see why the lights are probably going to need to be insulated if they are. Wow, that's cool. I'm backing with it. If they're like the switches are here.
Yeah, if it backs up against metal, I was watching Wayne do his, and he was talking about that. I know other people have mentioned it too, about especially the rear panel lights, that they can short out on the frame when the body goes on. Ian says that Eric says that Ian is one-track minded. He doesn't have squirrel moments like the rest of us. He's just weird squirrel. And then Ian responds, something in my kitchen will be making my suit telling me to get off YouTube and cook dinner. Oh, that's take that how you want to.
For some reason, my remote is not playing nice with my camera now. There we go. What I wanted to do was zoom in on this. You can see that the heat shrink does not go all the way to the switch. Shouldn't be an issue for the most part. But if you have like a light that is right up against metal there, that is going to cause.
Eric made chili, but he's not sharing it with us.
Oh, I'm looking at this thing. This is really kind of funky because this goes straight out here. There's a junction right here, and then comes back down. That's why you need tape here to hold this whole thing in place.
It's like a T-junction?
There's it right here, but it's outside the wall.
Gotcha. I agree with Ian. He says better safe than sorry and tape everything. You know how many circuits I taped inside the Iron Man? Oh, tape everything. It's too much metal on it.
I haven't taped anything on the Iron Man yet. Of course, I also have not gone through and redone my lights the way you did. That is going to eventually happen someday. Someday is a euphemism for maybe never. Okay. It's really funny how square they have this with this much excess. Well, maybe. When I look at the pictures, I'm like, how'd they get it that square? Needed the wire, they used a square form.
Ian's leaving. He's going to go make dinner. He'll be
Hopefully
back.
some too.
He's not cooking us dinner, so I don't know. It's not that
Well, that's
important.
terrible. My wife, right before this, well, not right before the stream, but an hour or so ago, 45 minutes, just came downstairs and said, "Yep, I'm leaving." I'm like, "You're leaving me?" And she's like, "Yep." Okay, sorry, whatever I did, come back.
It was the goofy hat, you know.
She bought it for me and told me to wear it on the stream.
I'm sure.
She decided that was my trademark. She and my logo. My daughter-in-law drew it. You know, my wife and daughter-in-law got together and decided that that would be done for me, and I was like, I thought that was really cool. It's almost like this wire is not that it's too short, it's that I didn't pull enough of it through. Just taking these back to the wall.
Can you zoom in a little bit? See what you're doing?
Yeah, maybe.
There you go. Then scoot away from you, your little desk there. Table. A little farther away from you so we can see. Or move the camera farther back. There you go. I like it.
One of these days I'll get a real stand for that camera. I'm going to end up with a loop out here because I want slack on this side in case I need it.
Ah, the professional says, don't worry about them wires shorting. It's the other wires on the back of the bus that's troublesome. You're not at that stage yet.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's too short. Was too short to reach.
I think he's talking about
But
us talking about taping all these exposed contacts. It's not these, it's other wires.
Well, I will be honest. I used to work on F-16s for a living. So I understand completely about making sure that things are well covered. These ones, with where the contacts are and it going into plastic, although no, that's plastic. With it going into plastic, there's no worries. That should be good. But with it going into plastic, no worries. You're right. On the back of the bus, when you start bumping up against metal, that's when
Eric says you should zip tie everything. Just ask Ian.
no, he said just Ian.
Well, the ask is in the next one. I'm not going to show it.
I know.
His brain works faster than his fingers. You can't harm him for that. It's okay.
Yeah, well, And that's the thing too, is that we've been having conversations. And Eric has said something, and I looked at it, and you're like, "Oh, he said this," and he updates it, and you're like, "You're right." And I said, "You remember this? Remember that when I said I speak Eric?
I thought it was Donnie you speak.
I speak Donnie too.
Oh, okay, good.
You know, when you don't realize, but you know, sometimes when the occasion comes up, I speak Todd too.
I try to be clear, but you know, sometimes my brain outruns my fingers too. So
Oh yeah. MP screws, 4 gray, 2 cream. I was smart enough tonight. I already have. MPs are brand new. I have not gotten them before. I have the screw bag or the screw box here. We'll never understand oddness. I think he's trying. Oh, Todd Knees. Okay, that's what he did say. I was going to say. I think he's trying to say Todd Knees. Text over on my phone far enough away that I'm not. I will tell you what. Today, long day. Oh, it's 2 cream. I pulled up 4 cream. Read the instructions. Cream or 2 cream. Red. 4 gray. This is a very slow process. Gordon, welcome. I had one of the bags hanging on my finger. Double check. Got the wire kind of hanging. Oh, actually, worried about if I had to pinch that wire in there, but the wire doesn't even reach that. You need to make sure it comes out groove here, notch right there in the cream color. Make for it to come out of. I think I've got mine set for a larger area. I can on the screen.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah. All
Are
right,
those
let me guess.
are those painted? Those screws painted white and red?
Yes.
Oh, very nice.
They're painted to match the color that they're going into.
Can't say I've seen that on a lot of part works.
No. This I've said it before, and you know I'll say it right now. This is probably one of the best part works I've ever seen. I think I said it yesterday on Dave's video when he was doing his blue one, and that blue one looks fantastic. These are tiny, tiny screws too. Being a little bit.
He says your Ecto was still better. Just saying.
What was better than this?
Apparently.
Ecto, I didn't build on the streamer. Did I stream the Ecto at all? I don't think I did.
Do you have to take extra special care screwing those in so you don't scratch the paint off?
I probably don't have to, but I am. The paint appears to be pretty durable.
That's good. Eric says he believes you did stream it in the other group.
If I streamed any of it, it was just. Actually, I did what I streamed on it because my first stream was the Terminator. If I did stream any of it, it was just at the end of the year update. My first one. I didn't do one last year, but just I sat all the models on the table and brought them over one by one. That was a banner year. I finished like 21 models, including the Ecto. Up there.
All these people building this bus, it makes me want to build it.
It's actually a very pleasant build. It's like Dave said. So far, the only really difficult part was the cap. One, putting it on, and two, getting one that wasn't broken.
Well, and I try to look at it and say, can I get this across on pictures, right?
Yeah. I think you could. Magical other group. I looked up and saw Eric's comment.
Mm-hmm.
That was not a magical group. Not a. Sorry. Squirrel moment here. Just looking, and I wonder, now that this is on here, I don't want to end up with a whole bunch of wire that I'm going to end up fighting with later on. Oh, and
It's not going to block those screw holes on the side. You run the wire down there.
maybe, maybe not. It actually drops down pretty well. There is a groove here. Look, it does run down the whole panel. It shouldn't block the screw holes. If it is, I'm just that way. I will bend them out of the way somehow. Bend it out of the way somehow. Actually, now that I've got a better idea of where this has to go to avoid that panel, shorten it up a little bit. glove anymore. It's just making my hand sweat. And actually, thinking about it, the other group, I never actually put anything on his channel. Just it was all on my channel with some of his logos on mine. I will not be deleting those videos. There's posterity, even though I wish I could take his logo off. I know I could edit. I could download them and do that nasty thing of edit. Oh yeah, that's a little bit better.
Looks good. Eric says supper time, then family madness, then bed. Later, guys. Have a great stream.
Yep. See you, Eric.
Bye, Eric.
Good, except for it popped back out of the groove. That's not going to be a problem in the second period. There it is. I'm sitting here going, where's the other part? Goes on there. That and that one takes 3 cream screws and 2 red. Not over tightened. If you're plastic snapping, it's too tight. It doesn't actually say that. There's still going to be one more red and one more cream. Extra cream here. Double check. Extra red one is not here yet. That's the problem of having a magnetic dish to set your screws. I'm going to get these red ones in so that the wires are captured. There's not only get this screw in, not only the groove in the first panel, also a notch.
Gotcha.
It's not staying completely together, but I think it'll be fine. Because that gap, if there is any, is going to be the wall. I had the opportunity and I missed it. Silenced it. I had the opportunity, if Ian's Germans show up, to get them to comment. In other words, I just burped.
Dave is saying, once you've completed this stage, just check that the switch works okay, as if you tighten the screws too much, the switches will not click.
Yep. Hear that?
I do.
Both switches are clicking. I actually felt this one click while I was working on it. Now this gets moved in there. I know that when Dave, I don't know if he's done it on all of his, but when he puts his, attaches the chassis to the body, at least on one of them, he took this panel back off. I'm going to wait and see how it looks. That time comes. Because right now, what it's telling me to do is to attach it to the body. Thought ahead. I had somewhere to put the bus for the interior. This comes on. This is the back. This goes towards the back of the bus. The interior. There's a gap right here. Done this before, but not with this. Not when so many cameras. Very good. It was strobing earlier when I did this, but it's not now. Sorry, I don't mean to throw you guys around the house.
Dave says he left that panel off until he got the body on the chassis.
Well, and seeing as this is the first time I'm doing it, I want to try it this way, the way they say. I may eventually go back and do it the way Dave did. This is going to slide on here. The gap in the panel right here. Third wire. The junction. Okay, that wire is actually going to end up under it. The angle I was looking at it, I really could not see plug store.
Gilly says you have to listen to Dave. Dave said it's only 4 screws, so it's easy to remove if needed.
Yeah, these 4 here.
But we just see your arm hair, so I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, sorry. Let me move that. Move it back. I lowered the camera instead of just pointing it down. One here, one here, and 2 on the other side. Yeah, see the wires, one wire that was there is not in the way. The if it was behind, it's going to end up behind the wall here. It's actually out here where I can move it. Of course, they have the other side. They're doing the other side first.
You realize Eric ran away before you could show him all your goofy clothes.
Yeah. But he saw the shirt, he saw the hat.
But you're wearing the pants too.
I know.
You missed it.
Well, what you don't realize is I have more and more goofy clothes. It's like, I think it was on the stream yesterday that somebody was like, wearing pajamas. I'm like, yeah, I work from home. Why else? Why would I have to get dressed? Leave the house, I get dressed. I'm working very hard on retiring. Well, thank you for killing the bot. Earlier.
2 of them, same time. You got double the love.
Oh, feels so special. But as full retirement gets closer, I act more and more like a retiree. In a way, but it's not in the way for the screw. It's in the way. That's why I want. Thought it with the black wire. I thought the black wire. It started catching it, and I didn't stop before I finished.
Is this your webcam view or is this your ZB1?
That's actually the webcam.
Gotcha.
That's why it's not very.
A little blurry, yeah.
Well, the Logitech. There. The 920 actually usually focuses pretty good. I think it's just like there's so much light, man, I can't see. Top one, and none of them are tight yet. All loose until I get the last one started. Haven't broken it off yet. Very proud of myself.
Were you expecting to?
No, but I do know that it is probably a trouble area. And that's the thing. As long as I keep thinking of that I'm going to inadvertently break it off, I'll be fine and won't break it off. It's the first time that I think, yeah, I got this. It's good. Snap that sucker right off. It has this going.
I was going to say, once those screws are in, can you route the wires a little nicer now that you know the screws are taken care of?
Well, what it does, what the picture shows is it going outside of this lug, and then inside of this. Actually, it shows, it says to route it that way before you put the screw. Oops, too late.
Oops.
Now, this gets set aside for, I don't know how many stages, but for the wires are on the bottom. Get set aside for a few stages because now it's ceiling work. Good God, there were two parts in that. There were two parts, one wiring harness and a few screws. Speaking of a few screws, did I miss something? Sorry, squirrel. But a few screws, and it took almost an hour. Oh! Well, hell, let me see. This back over here. I did something. And that one's, I'm going to have to take it back off.
What happened?
So the bell pushes.
Mhm.
Bells have screws that hold them in. You know, the bonus of putting that one part, the back on there, is the back part here cannot touch the ground right now. I'm going to have to take this side back off because the second screw for that button is down on the bottom, down underneath the seat. Looked over and saw screws, and I'm like, did I miss something?
Are those seats squishy or are they hard plastic?
They're hard plastic.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the top one here, you get to easily. Screws are right here. Bottom one,
Are these the screws he was talking about? If you make them too tight, the button won't work anymore?
very probably.
Yeah.
These screws are actually probably overkill for that button. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is still clicking. Pop one in and then think about it. I will think about what I've done. It's around.
So those screws can't be installed before you put the panel in?
They're supposed to be installed before I put the panel in.
Oh, you just forgot to do them?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got the other part out, went to open screws or open it, and I looked over and I saw screws up there. Oops.
so you bucked it up.
Yes, indeed. That would be my job. Thinking about it. I'm taking it back off. That one in. The one on the bottom I definitely can't get. Up on your side there, son. This is why I look at pictures. Oh, nice. I was just laying my fingers right on that window. I have to take it all the way off and still leave it in there with the wires. See it. Okay. See where the one screw is? The other screw that belongs in there? Much better.
And the button still works?
I'm not there yet because this one has a little bit of silver on it. Scratch the paint on the screw. They gave me their red one. Red out. Yep. I pushed the button and it made noise. Almost. Made a mistake. I did make a mistake, but I almost made another one. My wife might be home. Wow. I don't know if you hear that, but that's Murphy. Murphy cries like a little baby sometimes. It's our pug. He's very sensitive. Okay. That back out. Side.
If you slide it a little to the right, we can see what you're doing. There you go.
these are back where they. Wire back the second time. Let me get that started. You hear Apollo outside. Big white ball of fluff. You don't want your entire house coated with dog fur hair. Some white. They leak hair.
You're breaking up a little bit. You might have to speak up.
Yeah, the Samoyed is made of nothing but hair. He leaks hair all the time, continually. This is probably going to be out of shot. I can't help it. Just not quite making it on that corner. A little bit of slack. I'm just trying to make sure it goes underneath the floor, catch on the floor. Now I'm out of screen. Show it in just a second once I get these. Okay. So right here on the bottom, this was actually going in between the floor and the wall. I don't want it to get pinched like that. There's no gap there. But back like it was before, this now does not touch the floor. Okay. That works. 54 starts the ceiling on the bottom floor. This goes over top of the part I was just working on. Light lens covers. Up in there. Got the ceiling, two handrails. Yeah, these are the lamps. I'll push through the ceiling. They're going to be held in by some tape. Oh yay! Another one of these little hand cranks. The other one was above the engine, I believe. Really tiny C clamp. Okay. It isn't. It felt the crank felt like it was metal, but it's not. It goes through there. It is movable. Actually, a channel there that goes in there and holds. Of course, it just fell through. It was on there just like that, and now the handle can. Went in there a lot better than I expected it to. Lamps, and actually, it's kind of funny. It shows white tape instead of black. Lamps are just push in, not even push in. They just actually they just sit in there. They tape is for. Leg leaving the hole in the plastic wide open. This one was trying to go somewhere, so let me get at least one leg first. When I lifted it up, this one started falling out. This one, since it's on a flat surface, did not. Rounded edge, though. How many times can I say though? The rounded edge gave it a little bit further from having a downside more to just everything on the side. I apologize for the noisy dogs, guys. Especially because I'm sure somebody's dog out there is going nuts and barking at your computer. Help a little bit. I closed the shop door. They always go nuts whenever my wife comes back. When I go upstairs at night, and the dogs are in the bed, only one of them even says anything. Murphy, on the other hand, will jump up every time I come downstairs, and he's like, "Dad, do I get a treat? Is that good, Dad? Do I get a treat?" So, of course, I give him a treat. When I go back upstairs, I bring treats for the other two. Wait a minute. Nice, the girls are here. What's Gilly talking about?
He's talking about the porn chicks when they were here earlier. The porn box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was confused. I was going to say, is there a difference on these? And there is. You can see here, two holes. One's a screw hole, one's a pinhole. There's a lug on the bottom of each of these. They can only go in here one way. That gets held in. Those get held in by DP screws. I cut some stuff with my scalpel today, working on the Lisbon tram diorama. I was cutting some of the plastic cobblestones, and so my scalpel is really dull right now. Started, get the other one started so that I can over not have these fall. Don't ask me why on a bus that nobody's ever going to grab those bars. I just made sure. I don't want my passengers dying in a bus when the bus slams on them.
Do you plan on getting some scale passengers to put in there?
I don't know yet. What is this? This is 1/12 scale? I might. The only problem is you can't tell really because they're inside the tram. Some of the passengers that you can get just they don't look that good. No, my bus driver is too short. That takes care of that. So got the lenses in here, got the crank, grab bar, or the grab bars. I don't know what you call them. And this is where can you see a little. Turn this around. Setting it on top of the body or cabin. Not sure what to call that because it's not the cabin. Interior. Got a large harness, thread, which is going to be called a rope. Got the poles that go on the seats. More tape. Got some more lights. Bunch of little hardware. And I have looked over this page because there's a lot going on in here. Sure. Okay. These are going to be actually the domes that cover the two lights. JP screws, FP screws, LP screws, which I left a gap for, AP, NP, more new screws, spring. These are guides for the spring. Part of the mechanism for the rope goes with the spring. These are where the poles are going to attach. The poles attach from the top down, not from the up. That makes sense. And if Dave is still on, since he actually has been on one of these buses, probably tell us if these are like the cord or the strip that you find on American buses, where you pull this cord, I believe, and ring a bell. I know it'll ring a bell, but I believe that is the signal for the driver to stop and let you off. on there, and then 6
I believe Dave said that the people didn't actually pull that string at all. It was somebody like a member of the crew that would pull that string, once for stop or 2 for stop, and 1 for the next stop is coming.
Well, I actually read what it actually says on the back of the bus on the by the bells, and those bells, just from what it says next to them, those tell the driver to stop, and they tell the driver to drive on. But see, the thing is, with the conductor in the back, if you got somebody in the very front, probably don't want them jumping while the bus is moving.
If it was America, we probably would have thrown something at the driver, beer cans back of his head, something.
I know. I grew up on a bus. There was a push strip on the side of the bus overhead. That's what I think is funny these days, is that most kids these days don't want to take the city bus. I mean, what I expect I'll find on there, it doesn't surprise me. When I was a kid, that was how you got downtown if you needed to go do something. Similar to my wife being raised in Austria, he grew up using the Strassenbahn, which is why she really, really loves my little trams. And Strassenbahn. Let me translate that. Streetcar. I can see the poles come down from the bottom of the ways on them. I put this one in. Would go down because it's not a very hard plastic. And I believe it looks like the plastic. Actually, think it's got those. That makes sense. These are shades that go over top of the lights that are back here, or up here. Very well designed, because what they are, I'm sure what they're for. Let me see if it says. Light deflectors. It doesn't say it, but this is the front of the bus here. These 2 deflectors keep the driver from getting blinded by the lights inside.
Might want to speak up just a little bit.
Hang on. Let me do this. Let me pull the mic over.
There you go.
Make sure it is on the cardioid, not, so that it only listens to what I say. not everything around me. What's funny is maybe I'm getting lazy, Todd, because I usually speak up louder, but I've got a producer here, and so I'm like, I look up every now and then at the chat. I'm almost just building and talking to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You need to go back to running your own stream so you'll talk your way through it.
No, I like this. I do. And if you ever get sick, I'll be sad. Different screw. No, I have to say, Todd, I really, really appreciate. Makes it a lot more enjoyable for me. Hopefully, for the folks out there in YouTube land as well, because I can just build.
Yes, you just keep building.
There's one. Now, 2 screws to hold them in. There's actually a lip here that holds the flange ceiling. Okay, now that's pretty cool.
What's
That
that?
looked and felt like it was painted. The inside is painted, the outside is not. It's actually cream colored plastic. This on, and then I'll hold this up and see if I can get it to where you can see. The inside, very dull.
Mm-hmm.
No reflection whatsoever. That's painted. Outside is bare plastic. That to me is really pretty cool that they did it that way. Just the 4 sockets. These 4 sockets. Holes. Position them on the bottom here. Like I said, they've got a D-shaped. Oh, it looks okay. It looks like a screw could go in there, but no, that goes onto the seat. That goes in the ceiling. So these can be set aside and not put on here. So that's pretty
Dave said it's actually supposed to be sung yellow inside the roof. It was called nicotine white by the painters.
That's funny. Hold on.
I gotta admit that color does remind me of when you go in
Cigarette?
people's houses that smoked,
Yeah.
and the walls would be that off yellow color, even though they were white originally.
I recognize it too. Smoked for 30 years. Korea. My wife quit. Back. A while after that. That's when I quit. Years since I quit. Those just. I think.
Gilly says smoke teeth. That's a good color too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quit back in 2015.
I quit in, I want to say it was 08, maybe 09. It was really odd the way I quit too. A new chief come into the unit. Imagine that, our parent base, because I was up in Milwaukee, the recruiting squadron, our parent base was down here at Scott. And so we came down to do, the chief's fam tour so that he could find out what services we could get from here at Scott and everything. Well, when we got in the GOV, getting ready to go home on Friday,
What's a GOV?
government-owned vehicle.
There you go.
Got in there and started back. About, I don't know, 2 hours into the trip, like, need to stop and for a smoke break or anything? I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm out of cigarettes anyway.
Gilly says
Rather
you can't
than-
smoke in the car with kids. Yeah. I think they did that. There's some states that did that. I don't think they did it, like the whole country yet, but there's states that have those laws. I think Arizona's got one too. You can't smoke if there's kids in the car.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But it was funny because, like I said, about 2 hours into depending on how fast you go, anywhere between 6 hours and 4.5 trip back to Milwaukee, asked me if I needed to pull over for a smoke break or anything. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, you haven't smoked any all day. Sure. I'm like, yeah, I'm out anyway. And I'm trying to quit. And he's like, so why don't you? Okay.
So what are you doing now? Are you putting lights in?
Yes, more of the lights. Sorry.
Gotcha.
These are the same lights that I put in on the other side, the other panel. Again, held in by the tape. Because what's going to happen is later on, there's going to be I've read ahead. The LEDs are actually on a circuit board. Not really a circuit board. It's almost just a wire with plastic. But I'm going to put them in, and then I fold the board down, bending the leads. I guess you'd call it a bus. Not the vehicle, but
a bus board.
Boards. Yeah. Not sure that everybody would know what a bus is. I'm not talking like the Routemaster. I'm talking like avionics type. Basically, it's an information conduit. I'm sure Todd could explain it better, but I think that's close. I actually have one spare stick. Never say, I never really think they're spare because I always come up with something for it. I love the way they do this. Really.
The tape?
Pardon?
The idea of using tape?
No, just the way they do everything. I think that's what attracted me to Partworks is the fact that with a regular model, with styrene plastic model, you sit there and you go through and you have to figure out all this stuff. One like this, you don't really have to think that much. Take the old piece of the roof. These holes here are for more of the rope guides.
So this is the roof of the second level, right? The upper level.
No, this is the roof of the lower floor.
Oh, I was gonna. So that was my follow-up question. Do you have to make the roof for both floors?
Yes.
Okay.
Matter of fact, the Revell kit is the same way. Did not see that on the inside of the front part of the roof. Notice something on here. And another little detail that is like, look on that in a second. Don't think it's going to have it for each seat marked, but marked back here for the 2 bench seats. It's 4 seats on each. Seats. Really kind of cool. It says 4 seats on both sides. But said I didn't expect it to say anything on the inside. There's a roof panel, fixing point for the cage. Oh. So here says to identify the rear fixing point. This cable is kind of cool because on here, micro switch. I like the push button one, but a leaf micro switch.
I'm always afraid that's like a reed. It's like a reed switch, and I'm always afraid those are going to wear out over time.
Yeah. Looking at the picture, trying to make sure I'm understanding. This okay. So there's a pinhole here, in on the bottom of the switch. Plastic part comes towards me and goes into the hole here.
Is this for the rope? Like it's going to work?
Yep.
That's cool.
Oh, it's wait till I put it together because it is actually very ingenious the way it is not an electronic switch at all. And if it's like this in the real bus, I'm like, hats off, man. That is so cool the way they did it. This actually sitting on top of that plastic wall part. Want it always on. Might end up having to. There we go. Focus. It doesn't like the cream color.
If you're zoomed in, it won't focus that closely.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that.
There you go.
Yeah, that. Told you there was a reason for this piece of tape. Comes off here, down to next to this lug here. Tape. Right here. I do have to say that that is something that they did not do a lot of on the DeLorean, at least. Lots of tape the whole thing.
There wasn't too much on the DeLorean.
No. This is it's JP screws. Halves of the roof are about to become, or ceiling are about to become. Tell you what, JPs are very popular screws.
It's like the DeLorean. Has that in common.
Except that was the AP screws.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't good. I just smacked from the flat panels above me. Not one of the ones above, actually above me, above the other bench. These there sits on here like this. It actually, once they pop in, very flat. It fits like it should. Not one of these things where I'm not tightening them all the way, just getting them started, but I'm not having to lift the bottom roof or the rear part of the roof up.
Do you do the thing where you put them all in loose and then fit it nice and tight and then tighten them?
Yep. A little bit, and then I go back and tighten them all. Did that on the DeLorean. I do it on every kit. I don't know why. It's how I do it. And then I also do this, which is cross corners. Random thought just wandered through my mind. Watched the Netflix thing on 3 Mile Island for the last couple of weeks. And that was scary because I wasn't in Pennsylvania for it, but I was around. Remember it in the news.
I don't know what it is. If it's you're talking quieter or that mic is not aimed at you, but it definitely you drop out every once in a while. It just gets quiet.
It is angry. Just double check something here. Just because. I just turned it up a little bit. Hopefully I won't start blasting people.
No, it sounds okay.
Okay. Not tight or tighten the screws. This is where I think it is really ingenious. This is some pretty spectacular engineering.
So what do you got there? Is that a spring?
Yep. This spring, that part there, that oval part, is how the rope works. Roll slider. It's unlike a lot of these, the see, the spring is squared off instead of
So which
a lot
side
of
are you
these.
hooking into?
This the arm here goes onto the squared off side. Screw. AP screw is going to go through the spring. Spring that is holding it, not the screw.
On a side note, Gilly is enjoying his beans.
Actually, you know, it's kind of funny. Lima beans that he was saying that he was making, or navy beans, I'm not sure what they were. White beans. We have those sometimes, and my wife makes a salad.
You're off the screen a little bit. It's kind of hard to see what you're doing.
There.
There you go.
So that holds the spring in there. NP screws, which also have a flange. But now we've introduced LP, NP, MP. It says to not over tighten these. Donnie must be just getting off work.
Welcome to the show, Donnie.
Now this, here like that.
I was watching his R2 video, R2D2 video, right before this.
Pretty good yesterday.
I missed you guys on Sunday.
Okay, see how you are out there having fun by yourself. Leave us all alone. Worse yet, leave us with Eric.
Was it just you and him the whole time?
Who was it? I forget who joined. We had somebody else join for a while. I think it was Mark was going to join. Jason or Josh Wisdom showed up.
Oh yeah, I saw that and then I had to leave.
This may have to bend. Bottom half. Okay. Lift that up to where you can actually see it. Rope string is going to connect there. Pull the string. Going to make that.
And does it does close the contacts, huh?
Yes, it does.
Donnie says, that's okay, Todd. Buck nailed on the stream to watch. Oh, bailed on the stream to watch someone else's. Oh! Did you?
I did actually. Well, Eric was. Here's the thing. To defend myself, somebody who will remain named Eric was holding up his phone to his camera. And I was watching the Blue Routemaster go together, or Routemaster go together, and I'm like, huh, I'm going to go watch them. It was 2.5 hours in, or yeah, almost 3. So I went and watched Dave. Not over tightening the screws, blah, 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 blah. Wonder if I was supposed to put this on. Late now. Of course, what's funny is Donnie says, I bailed on the stream. Donnie never even showed up.
You're not wrong.
Donnie was only watching.
Well, I will have kit 15 through 18, as well as pack 6 of the Mura to do on Friday. If I don't get it on Friday, I'll work on Sunday.
I got started on the Christmas group build. I will tell you right now, after 2 hours of sorting through all those little bitty pieces, I was ready to go do something.
And this is like a woodcraft build, right?
Yeah. Okay. Instead of fighting with this and trying to loop that back around, double knot it, use my really cool stuff. Glue that I'm putting on here. Made for thread.
Do me a favor. Turn down your speakers a little bit. Maybe that's what's happening. Is the echo cancellation keeps cutting you out? If you can.
How about now?
Sounds better so far.
Okay. So what I just put on here. This is where it gets really exciting because I have no measurable depth perception. I have bad eyes, and I have to put a little tiny needle back into this thing. So of course,
Good
right now
luck.
I'm getting all over my fingers. And the bad part is it sits there and flows for a little while once you finally get it to go. But if you look, it's a needle applicator with a needle that goes inside.
No.
I love this stuff. Ever since I did my Black Pearl, the plastic one, when I did the rigging. Yes, this is the rigging glue. It's not super glue, flexible, but it is very strong. It keeps your strings from coming undone. And also, it also lets you cut the string off closer to the knot. Perfect. Drop the rope, thread, string, excuse me, whatever you want to call it, through, thread it through these. No. Sometimes have to remember the tools you have. I have 15 or 20 needle threaders right there. Why am I fighting with it? Does it show that I build ships sometimes?
Just a little bit.
Speaking of which, I'm going to have to get back on the Titanic again. Lisbon tram is fun, but the Titanic's been waiting. Well, no, Lisbon tram's been waiting around longer.
Now this is a little sketchy because both Ian and Eric both came back at the exact same time.
I don't want to know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Ian says the steak Diane came out fantastic. Is that code word for Ian, or is that code word for Eric?
I don't know.
Came out fantastic.
That
I don't
could
know.
be.
I don't know what's going on with these two.
It says once it's in place, do a simple single knot right here, so that it does not go wandering. Will not be using the thread glue on it because eventually
Now,
I think it attaches to something else.
Do you tie the knot around that hoop, or do you tie it on the rope itself?
Cut it on the yes and no.
On the
It's
loop?
on the
plastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the plastic. It's not tight enough that it. I mean, that's why I use the thread glue on the other end is because it wasn't getting tight enough to where it would hold. Okay, and it says to put these on the lower deck, which I'm not going to. suggest you can leave them off so that they don't get broken. These will go on the lower deck and between the seats and the ceiling. Torn between Gordon Ramsay and Guy Fieri. Okay.
Oh boy, here
Are
we
those
go.
stripper poles on a bus? Not sure what kind of clubs you go to, Ian. That's kind of weird. Stripper poles on a bus.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
I've seen it in Vegas.
Huh?
I've seen it
Yeah.
in Vegas.
Yeah. Along with the guys that are sitting there flipping the cards back and forth at you.
Dave says you have a brilliant idea with that needle threader.
I know. I was sat there, I was fighting with it, and I'm like, wait a minute. That is sitting right there. And what I'm doing right now is I'm move this over here for storage purposes.
I bet you're right, Ian. Aaron says that he's sure a dance or two was made on those buses.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
London in the 70s, you know. Yeah, I agree.
We were kitty-wide of Vegas, and we had a captain doing stupid things in a bus. Fortunately, it was a male captain. So eventually, this is how this is going to go on. Screws are going to go in here. This string is not going to be hanging out. Magic button. There's the magic button.
Goofy pants.
Oh.
Goofy pants.
Goofy pants!
Just for Eric.
Yep. Not just for Eric, because I like him too. And it's funny because Eric still acts like he hates Goofy, but he and I have had conversations. He's going to say lies, all lies. He and I have had conversations, and he doesn't hate Goofy. It just became a thing, and he keeps carrying it on. So,
Giving him a hard time about those. Yes. His eye bleach.
Yes. So let me see. 53, 54, 55. Let me double check. Still behind me. 56. So managed to get 3 stages done. And I'm loving this because the bus is really taking, it's detailed, and so it takes a long time to get anything done.
Ian can't stand your camera angle. Look, he can't stop looking at your crotch. You know what's going on. Ian can't help himself.
Yeah. So this is funny. It's 6:50. I'm about to call it for the this stream, and we've picked up 4 viewers in the last 15 minutes.
Eric's trying to give him a hard time about his zip ties. Hey, the zip ties really makes that model come alive. You got to do it. Talking about his DeLorean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had issues with Eagle Moss by that time, and so I was really kind of done with it. So I didn't do. At one point I have a flux capacitor keychain. I paid $30 for rather than spending $250 to do the Christmas tree and the flux capacitor. I didn't put it in there. I was going to wire it in. Didn't do that. So I have the Eagle Moss POS in there. I can too. I never turn it on. I don't have the EL wire. A whole 9 yards. Mine is just a very vanilla build, except for the I did carpets on mine, Well, like I said, by the time I got to where I was doing that stuff, I was just disgusted with Eagle Monster. I sat there from November till May waiting for issues.
Did you turn the mic back towards you?
Sorry.
There you
It's
go.
being blocked by the bus. But between between October and May, didn't get any. Waited for issue 76. Around February, they started sending issues beyond 76 that I needed.
Good night, Dave. Thanks for
Good
stopping
night,
by.
Dave. Oh yes, love it when you stop by, man. But on the DeLorean, when I finally, in February, they started sending issues beyond where I was already at, and then they skipped right on into the expansion. And I'm like, no, I never wanted the expansion. They said, well, you signed up for the model. I said, I didn't sign up for the expansion. Really kind of irritated with it.
Donnie says if you started the stream later, he'd hang here longer. For some reason, they don't like him watching videos at work. Something about not paying attention, but he wasn't listening.
Tell them that, you got things to do. And I understand, Donnie. My problem, the whole thing is getting the guys like Dave to be able to come and watch. That being said, Thursday is or Friday is Veterans Day here in the States. Remembrance Day in Canada. I don't know if there's any holidays in the UK. Used to be Armistice Day. Good night, Chris. Thank you for stopping by. But used to be Armistice Day. But where I'm going with that is Thursday. I think I'm going to start working on it. I've got 20 some issues on it. I'm thinking I'm going to start going back to 2 streams a week doing part works.
Is that the D'Agostini, the Samba band?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Well, I hope Mark gets to join. I know he's building that too.
Yeah, I know he is. I've seen that. And what I do is I collect enough parts to keep me going for a while. Or Thursday I'm going to do something. I may do the Iron Man. I may do the Samba van. I have not started the Samba van. I know that the problem with the Iron Man is going to be I think I've got four shipments, and I'm going to blow through that in no time flat because there's very few parts per shipment. But really appreciate everybody stopping by. Like and subscribe. Glad you come by. I love doing this bus. I am having a paint it blue and put some militants in it to do Back to the Future diorama.
I brought that up to somebody, and they said I think this is the T2 van, and that was actually a T1 van in the movie. So they're not the same van, but I don't know why most people wouldn't know the difference. So
yeah. Well, if I'm going to do something like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the I have 3 120 the Libyans. I have 3 Back to the Future vehicles, one from each movie from Aoshima, and I have a blue T1 1/24th scale VW. So I may do that. I may do that instead as a diorama sometime.
Donnie says you need some flower power. Get some little vinyl stickers.
Like that. And over the weekend, I don't know if anybody else.
And say goodnight to Gilly.
Expo.
Good night, Gilly.
Oh, good night, Gilly. But over the weekend, Model Expo had on sale the Dr. Edgar VW Samba van. So, of course, I looked at it and I was like, let's see, let me go look on Amazon. On Amazon, it was anywhere between $50 and $100. Model Expo sold it for $29 and $5 in shipping. And I was like, I have to have that. So, got another kid on the way. So, as I was saying, have a great evening. Glad you guys all stopped by. Take care of yourselves tomorrow. Take care. Like and subscribe. I will talk to you next time, and we'll see you on Thursday.